Hey YouTube, what is up? How y'all doing? This is Eric. I want to talk about this being single thing. For me, it's been like 3 year for me a 3 year anniversary of being single. I'm just saying anniversary because I feel like I haven't had a date in a long time. It's been 3 years and uh I've lived without it, so I should like. And if it's another year or years later, and then if I'm still single, yeah, I feel a lot better. Maybe I might feel a lot better. And hopefully I could really achieve something without dating anybody. You know, I'm not saying dating. I'm not saying dating a woman who knows how to behave well in a relationship that she's holding you back. But I'm saying that when it comes to dating, you have all these expectations. You see a lot of women who really expect a man to be this, expect a man to have a lot of status and not character, which is sad nowadays because you don't see a lot of women who behave well in a relationship no more. You don't see a lot of that. You don't. Especially in California too. In LA, dating in LA is just trash. Like I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of women. I've seen a lot of beautiful women who be going to these expensive restaurants that is way out of their budget, and they don't even give a fuck. That is, I think that's a little off topic, but my point is, I'm trying to be proud of being single and not dating, which I am pretty much because I don't have to rely on anybody or um I don't have to do anybody's favors. I don't have to worry about uh my girlfriend, she's on a period, she's angry at me or something like that. Cause when I was in a date when I was in a relationship, there are times where my ex used to be on her period and then she would give me some rage texts. And then I would just tell her to just take some Motrin pills or something like that. Take some prescription pills, and then she'll be okay. It's not like I know everything, cause I ain't no fucking doctor. I ain't no fucking therapist. You know, I don't know about female shit. Hell, I barely understand female nature right now. Girls, they do what they do. And they're gonna get what they want and get laid with a bunch of men because they can get what they want. Funny cause, and I don't have respect for the men who just keep fucking women and all that stuff and just keep forcing them to fuck them and all that shit. I don't have respect for that. What I do have respect for men is that um the men who are not dating women right now because they chose not to, and because how they see the world and see how the world really is, and they are not complaining about it. They are not worried about having another woman in their life that they want. They're not worried about it right now. That's what I have respect for. And I'm learning this right now too, because there are times I be worrying about being lonely and worrying about not having a woman in my life, which I am learning right now. Sometimes it is that simple, but sometimes it's not either, so I'm going to work on that. No, I'm not dating women right now, and no, I'm not even talking to women right now. I don't even interact with women as much until they're comfortable with me in their life. Here's what I learned. That you can't force a woman to like you. You can't force women to be in your life anyway. You can't. And there are times where I used to want to interact and keep staying in touch with a woman because she was somebody that different that I met on vacation, and there were some women that were really that different when I was on vacation. some of the women I never interacted before, and I feel like it was a cool vibe with them. It was an awesome vibe from them. And I really enjoyed that. And so we would have each other's numbers, and then I would just want to talk to them and see, hey, how you doing? And they would barely respond. I mean, sometimes they used to respond back sometimes, but these days right now, especially in the year times when we're already busy, they don't interact as much anymore. They don't interact as much as we as men do, as much as we as men want to interact. We don't have the same connection or interaction. We don't. And that's how it is. That's how I've learned. Don't talk to women as much. Don't be sending them text paragraphs until they really genuinely want a connection and a good conversation. Even if they're friends, I'm not gonna mess that up. I'm not gonna fuck it up. Never. That, like, they have to really be comfortable with me in their life, even as friends. And I should know that. I mean, even if men and women can be friends, they still need to at least see red flags together in each other. I don't care if a woman is. I don't care if I'm friends with a woman. I still might see some red flags in her that I'm not even gonna want to deal with. I don't know. Probably might. I don't know. Hope this makes sense, but even if a woman is friends with you, she might see some red flags in you. Might see some green flags. I want to talk about red flags and green flags too. What I find in a red flag is that she would have a bunch of followers on Instagram and interact with those men. She would have a bunch of followers, a bunch of DMs in her circle, and then she would barely interact with them. But she would interact with a dude who has more status. That's what I see a red flag, because there's somebody better that she will want to interact with. And here's another red flag to me, is that she would say that I like your personality, not your looks, but then she would look at another dude. She don't care about his personality. She likes his looks. She likes the way he looks. Especially his car too. I don't like that bullshit. Even if she's friends, I still find that bullshit. You know, and not a lot of women click with how men are. I mean, they don't click with how men want to click with them. Just playing with my hair, I don't know why. We can't like interact with them like they're forced to interact with us back. I'm not gonna force conversations. I'm not gonna force nothing until we're really on the same page, even if we're as friends. I would never do that. And especially when I got other shit to do to worry about. Like I got money to be making. When I be looking at the money in my bank account, I need to make some more. I gotta save more. So, you know, gotta figure out how am I gonna get more busy than just talking to a woman all day long. Because that's how I used to be doing that. I used to try to talk to a woman that I liked interacting with all day long. I used to try to do that. And I realized she's not going to always interact back. And she might be more busy than I actually am. And she will want to be more busy than I am. You know? If she really did like me, she would have to make more time with me. Make more time to interact with me more. And meet each other more. Especially as friends. And that's how it is, really. Especially, I've already seen enough of how other stories are. Like, I've seen enough of that. And I'm an autistic guy, and I don't like forcing things at all. You know, like, I'm just going to stay in my own space, stay in my own circle, deal with, like, at least interact with the people who are who want to interact with me at my circle. You know, uh, sometimes if we don't interact, we don't interact. If we don't talk, we don't talk. If we don't socialize, we don't socialize. That's just how it is. You can't force nothing. Especially at times where even if even if she did like me, she could change her mind instantly. Even if I did like her, there's no way in hell that I would force her to want to make time with me. And it's not like I could really put in the effort in her time. It's not like we could figure out how to click with each other. It's not like, hold up. It's not like we have the same passion. It's not like we have the same path. It's not like we have the same thing in common. When you don't have things that you can relate to each other about, it feels like there's nothing to click there. There's nothing to interact about. There's nothing to talk about. You know, I get like when I'm talking to people, especially new people that I meet, I get vibes easily. I get vibes. I feel vibes. I feel a lot of things. I could think a lot of things of what I feel when I talk to that person. Like she likes art. I feel a good vibe. But then when she talks about something else that I don't know, it feels like I'm never going to understand what else she likes. I'm never going to understand what else he likes. No matter if I wanted to learn. You know? We're not always going to... Like, there's no other me's. There's no other somebodies. There is no duplicates of each other. There's no duplicates of each other's personality. Either we have the same, either we can relate to all the things or we don't. Either we can relate to some things or we don't at all. If we click, then we click. If we don't click, then we don't click. And we move on from there. So to me, being single is like the best thing because you can figure things out for yourself. You got other things to do. You got other things to worry about. The money in your bank account. And you got other passions. You can make time for yourself. Like I be drawing in my free time, going in restaurants, drawing. And some people will look at me and look at my drawings and they will want to click. And I will give them my business card. Not a lot of people, but you know what I mean. You know, so I rather do things that make me happy and I don't get frustrated at the time. I have my own free time and I'm going to use it. And if we make time for each other, we might as well figure that out. You know, it's funny because when I was done dating, my ex still be at two of my exes still wanted to be friends. I didn't want to be friends with my exes, ever. They be hitting my DMs like, why can't we just be friends? I don't want to, because if I do, I'm not moving on, ever. Whatever we done to keep that relationship together, sometimes it won't last. Nothing lasts forever. If we break up, there's no going back. No matter if we're cool, we can't get that connection back. The other day, a few weeks ago, my other ex was hitting me up saying hi. I just found that out. And she didn't say nothing else. I mean, I looked at the message. I didn't respond. Because if I say hi back, she's going to want to ask me questions about what I'm doing in my life. How am I doing? I'm moving on. Whether you like it or not. So yeah, 3 years of being single. Hopefully by 2030, I'd still be single. Or maybe, I think if I just stay single and travel around the world and meet other people, I would be happy. Because being at the same area, interacting with the same people that you see all the time, there's nothing that different. You don't feel a click at all anymore. And there's nothing you can get out of it. There's not, like, the interaction isn't going somewhere anymore. That's how I feel in California right now. I've been living in this state for ever since I was born, 23 years. I don't feel nothing that different here. There's nothing that different. But when I was in vacation visiting other states like Florida, New Orleans, when I was on a plane place, airport. When I was at an airport, I'd be at New Orleans or just to be on the way to Florida when I'm on Disney cruises. There is something that different. You travel all over the world, especially going to Disney World. You see something a little different because in California, I'm in Disneyland. There's nothing that different. I mean, there's some good people out there, but there's nothing that different. So if I meet different people from states, from countries, even from people that came from an island, I'll feel a lot happier. My personality would change. My life would change. I would become a brand new man sometimes. If I'm willing to try this. All right. I think that's it. And also I've been getting new comments from other people on YouTube, on my YouTube videos. I feel like they can relate to this. I'm like, I appreciate y'all's comments. And people who comment on my art and who loves that stuff, I appreciate it a lot. I'm glad about that. So that is it for this video. Like, dislike, comment, share what you think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Maybe with a different topic. So everybody please be safe. This is Eric. I'm out.